we're live this morning on the Crystal Clear Retreats page, and I'm here with JJ. It's Monday morning. It is 8 o'clock in the UK, and it's
9 o'clock here.
9 o'clock over in Amsterdam. And yeah, so wow, how's your week been, JJ?
Well, it's interesting. You know, these are interesting times. Yeah, it's uncertainty, but uncertainty can also mean opportunity.
Yeah.
So every day is special. Every day is new. You look around you, and you can, as you have the tendency to have that depression in you, or the anxiety in you, you can really go into that roller coaster if you follow the news, etc. And sometimes I do, and if I feel that urge, and then I'm like, oh no, stop it.
Yeah.
I do come a couple of meditations, and I'm back in the zone, because and that's what we're talking about, presence. And
Totally. Yes.
I think when your presence is clear, you have a vision, you're clear on, okay, this is who I am right now in this moment. That is when you're the mentally strongest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we're talking about present. Thanks for reminding me, because I would have gone off all over the place.
Because of all the technical issues.
Yes, we've had a few of them this week, haven't we? But we've stayed in the moment with it, kept calm, and yeah, I mean, this morning I had a real lovely in the moment. I did a half hour of your yoga from YouTube this morning, and you talk a lot about just being present in the space, in the room, focusing on your breath. And actually it makes such a difference to me, just spending that moment, just being present, nothing else. And if the thoughts pop in, I just kind of let them drift off, which is a skill I've developed over probably 2 to 3 years, because I wasn't very good at that before.
Yeah.
But one of the things I have learned, and I just want to kind of give this to anyone who's listening, is that it's about the brain chemistry. It really is. It's about the chemicals that run around in our brains. And when we're either in the future or in the past, our brain is working a lot. It's kind of processing so many different thoughts. And all of those particular thoughts produce like stress hormone within our bodies. And so everything gets going. And that's really difficult for us to cope with. And it's the same when we're just being kind of mindless. I don't know if you've ever experienced just driving from one place to the other and then thinking, oh my God, how did I get here? That's when we're not present. That's when we're thinking about like what we're going to have for dinner, what happened yesterday, maybe a row we had, all those thoughts going on. And we're just producing all this stress hormone when we're not present in the moment. And that's hard work. And producing all that stress all the time can almost become a permanent state. And that's when we start to suffer with anxiety and depression. And we can also get lots of physical issues. I've met so many ladies and gentlemen who have physical problems as a result of just being so stressed for so many years. So being in the moment is almost like the medicine. It's the cure. It's what we need to practice, but it's not easy. You have to practice it, lots and lots.
Yeah.
As I learned with you, JJ, it's a daily thing.
It's a daily thing, and I love that you're doing the whole scientific bit, because that's wasted on me. The only scientific thing that I can say is, of course, the body. The because I'm a yoga teacher, you know about the nervous system, and you've got that sympathetic nervous system, which is always in fight and flight mode, or sometimes in freeze mode. But that's always on a high, and if that's always active, which is happening now with so many people, this is why we get burnout, anxiety problems, panic attacks, all that stuff, because we're so always on that high. And what yoga does, and then I mean yoga in the body work, the breathing exercises, and the meditation, because it's all yoga, is you get connection with that parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calming energy. And in a natural state, if we are normal, if we can call it that,
Yeah, what is
then
normal?
then we have balance in both nervous systems, and that together is a, what is the English word? Autonomic nervous system. Anyway, that's the entire nervous system,
Oh,
but because it is in balance then. But we are so focused in this society and in this world on that sympathetic nervous system that we
yeah,
forget that calm energy. So that is basically what yoga does. And the other thing that I really want to say is that now we're going to go a little bit into the woo-woo part, but
yeah,
I'm also going to do a workshop next week on our retreat, which is
yeah,
called Presence,
yeah,
and it's all
absolutely.
about awareness. And what you basically do, when you're in your head, and when you suffer, you are in your head. You believe
Mm,
that your ego is you. You identify yourself with your mind, and that is not you. But our ego wants us to identify with the mind, because otherwise it's scared that it will be dead. It would be killed off, and that is why we have that anxiety, because it preys on fear. So the mind is kind of creating an illusion, which is our pain body. It's beautiful. Eckhart Tolle from The Power of Now called it the pain body, and I adore it, because I can visualize now a body that resonates it is starting from the mind, and with, because you are believing your thoughts, you create emotions, and these emotions affect your behavior. So that is your pain body,
yeah, yeah,
but it's not you. It's an illusion. And this is all the cause of your issues, of your problems. So what we need to do is we need to connect and look beyond that pain body, because it's an illusion. But of course, we believe in it for so many years, so
yeah,
that's not
very
easy.
much. Yeah.
And therefore, you need that daily commitment, that daily practice, to really look beyond that pain body and see that inner body, which is always here in the moment. And in the moment, it is always amazing.
Mm, that's
So
beautiful.
yeah, and so that's basically what we're going to do next week in the workshop at the retreat,
Yeah.
and of course also in my yoga sessions. But yeah, that is my woo-woo explanation of being present.
But that's so brilliant, because that just links in so much with what I do, in terms of the cognitive side of things, the brain thinking stuff, because you mentioned there that the thoughts cause the emotions, and they do. If we think about things in a certain way, and a lot of time the way we think about things, it's not true.
Yeah,
But it's not rational, it doesn't make any sense, it's not linked to any truth, it's all linked to, as you say, stuff that we've collected over the years
yeah,
and become to believe, and that affects how we feel. So the way that you describe it, just kind of wiping the slate clean and just being in that moment. And I practice mindfulness, which is about finding an anchor. So we do mindfulness on the retreat as well. I've just done a mindfulness course where it's finding something to bring us into that moment, because I find that that's quite hard sometimes unless you have something to focus on, a spot of some sort, whether that's your breath or looking at an object, or it's training the brain, isn't it, to do something completely different to what it's been doing for years and years.
yeah. And with
Yeah.
that, you create the awareness. That is the beauty. When I started my recovery and I started meditation, I was with a focus point, as you mentioned, just take the breath, focusing on the breath. I experienced hell, because I was always distracted. Oh
Mm.
shit, the breath. Oh shit, the breath. And it happened like, I need to focus on the breath. I'm not good at this. Meditation is not good for me. Oh shit, and sorry for my language.
Mm.
Oh, that's UK. I can use it.
Right.
And so but to be aware that you're distracted so many times, that makes you present.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
when I realized that, I was like, oh wow, now I'm distancing myself from my thoughts. I'm
Mm,
not in it anymore.
mm,
I am seeing it as the observer.
yeah.
And when you're there and you have that aha moment and you become the observer,
Mm,
then, well, for me it was like just motivation. I was like, oh, and now I want to become this ultimate authentic person,
yeah.
because I'm kind of stubborn, and I was proud of my being independent.
Mm,
So I was not having the thought of my ego making decisions unconsciously for me.
yeah.
And I think that motivation helped me become mentally stable and healthy, big time. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so true. We need motivation to do this stuff. And that's one of the things that I like to do is to celebrate when I recognize I'm actually in the moment. Because it's a yay moment. It's
Yeah.
like a wow, I've done it. I've actually not to chastise myself for drifting off and thinking about this, that, and the other. I mean, last week I spoke on my mindfulness course about a little incident. I'll tell you this little incident that happened. I went shopping with a close friend of mine, or my husband, and we went in the car, and he went to a different shop to me. So he went right over the car park to a different shop, and I said, I think we were together for a bit, and then I said, okay, well, I will come over and collect you from the other shop, because it was quite a way. Anyway, I got into the car. That thought went completely out of my mind. So I'm there, sat there. I started scrolling through my phone. I started dreaming about this, that, and the other, what happened yesterday, what I'm going to do tomorrow. I completely lost the moment. And then like he appears next to the car going, what are you doing? Why didn't you come pick me up? It completely, that thought, that presence just completely went.
Yeah.
I just went into some mindless activity, but I wasn't going to beat myself up for that, But whereas in the past, I would have been, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was
Yeah.
like, oh gosh, I just went completely mindless for a
Yeah.
moment. But I'm back in the moment, and celebrating when you're back in the moment, because it's hard to stay in the moment.
Yeah.
So don't chastise yourself for drifting. Don't be horrible to yourself. Don't ever be horrible to yourself.
Yeah.
It's really bad for you.
And this is because this reminds me also, when you're in that zone and you feel totally present, what happens is that you're either afraid that you're going to lose it. So in that moment when you realize, oh, I'm present, oh, I love it, oh shit, I need to be here, I need to stay here, and etc. And boom, ego has taken you away out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um, and something that one of my clients now that I coach for starting to meditate, um, she had a revelation with one of my meditations. She saw unicorns and rainbows, and it was amazing. She said, "Oh my God, that was such a great meditation." And so a week later, I got her on the call, and she was like, I didn't see the unicorns anymore, and I was so disappointed
Mm,
with the same meditation. So she would try to recapture that same moment that she had in the past.
mm,
And so you see that this is all with, we have experience with addiction, but even when meditating, that same pattern of addiction comes back because you want to have that fix again,
yeah, that's
which
true. I've heard
which
that.
is taking you out of the moment.
Yeah.
And so when you experience the moment, it is also still a task to really enjoy it, but
Mm,
also allow it just to be part of this moment. And if it disappears, you know what? It's okay, because you have the trust that it will come
mm,
back again in a
yeah.
different form. But it's and that is just, again, I come back to experience and daily practice.
Mm. So do you think I'm addicted to yoga? Because I love the feeling it gives me in the morning.
No, I don't think you're addicted to or maybe you are, but then it's a healthy addiction because
Yeah,
it's part of your practice, right? You
true.
can say, ego can tell yourself, yeah, but you're doing meditation every morning at 7, so you're addicted to meditation. that is possible. But when you are trying to be on the mat and mentally trying to get into a state because you are doing yoga, that is a whole different
Absolutely.
vibe,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And I do have some flexibility with it. I don't demand that I have to do it every morning, otherwise my day is going to be awful. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do that, and then I feel good after doing it, after being in that presence. So yeah, it's as you say, it could be a little bit addictive, but it's a healthy
Yeah,
addiction.
I think it's also because, you know, thank you for bringing this metaphor of yoga up, because if you are doing something because you expect something of it,
Mm,
that is a totally different, that is not being present.
yeah,
That is not being present. Being present is being in the moment, and everything that is part of that moment, you need to allow it to be part
mm,
of the moment. Because the moment when you start to resist anything, I mean, in meditation, it happens so often that, you know, I'm sitting in meditation at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then a lawnmower starts to do its job. OMG, right? You know?
yeah,
And, but you need to make that lawnmower part of this moment. It's just the way it is in that moment.
yeah,
So the moment when I start to resist, like, oh, motherfucker, and this and blah, 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 and whatever, that is not my meditation mood, you know?
yeah,
This,
yeah,
and I'm not saying it is easy to be present all the time, but it's, as we started this whole video, it is necessary to stay mentally balanced, centered, grounded, whatever you want to call it.
yeah. I have my dogs snoring during my meditation in the morning. But it's such a lovely sound. It's so, I don't know, there's something about it. It's just a really, when they were first doing it, it used to irritate me, but now I'm like, okay, this is part of it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Your
Is
dogs are
it,
lovely.
yeah, you say there's a part in the one that I do that you say, if there's any sounds, just notice them and recognize that they're there. And so it's always the dogs snoring. They used to climb all over me when I was doing yoga. Initially, I had
Yeah.
to put them out the room, but now they've understood, they've got into it, they've got into the Zen. They understand that I'm going to be sitting on the mat and they need to sit in the corner and go to sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome. Oh, I love dogs. I love animals.
yeah, yeah.
They are always in the zone. They are always
True,
present.
true.
That is the beauty about animals. They don't have an ulterior motive. They are
Mm,
not in the past. They are just in the zone. And
mm,
even if we think they are having a character or whatever, normally they are always in the zone.
yeah, 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 absolutely. Okay, well that's great. Thank you for that and discussing that with me. I don't know if we've got anything else on it, but I just wanted to say I'm really excited about the retreat we're running next weekend. So
I
we won't be
know.
here on Monday because we'll be running the retreat. So we'll have to set another time to do this live next week. However, we're fully booked now, which is really, really exciting. And I think we were talking yesterday when we were having all those tech issues about doing something in June, maybe July. We did a half a day workshop
Yep.
before, and I think it would be great if we could do that again.
Yeah.
So we'll give you some information about that pretty soon. It will be on the page. We might even do a live about it in
Yeah.
a couple of weeks.
And
So,
maybe people. We haven't discussed this, Vanessa. So you say just cut me off if it's not. But maybe people who are watching this now, they can comment or email us with maybe a topic that they would like to work with. You know,
mm,
we could, because we haven't set the topic yet for June or July.
true, true.
So what is it that you need help with?
Yeah, yeah.
And we can maybe work around that and include that in the workshop.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Terry's turned up here, and Terry is joining us next week.
Hello, Terry.
Hi, Terry. She said it was freezing initially, but she's really excited about next week. I hope this video turns out okay and it's not freezing too much for anybody else who's watching. I think we've had a couple of others.
Well, I'm
Um,
all the way in the Netherlands, and for me, it's all good.
yeah, it seems fine from this end, but Yeah, Terry's going, hi,
Hello.
Terry. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. So yeah, as JJ was saying, if you're watching this on replay and you have some ideas about what you'd like JJ and I to explore, to talk about, to do exercises on, to do with you, we would love to hear what you'd like, because we're here to serve you. We're not here to kind of plant ideas in your heads that we come up with, because we might be completely off key with that. I think we have some idea, but what we want to do is hear from you what you want from us,
Yeah,
because
so we can always include that in any workshop that we do. That would be nice
yeah,
because I
absolutely.
like that connection.
Yeah,
And well, maybe we're talking about presence, Vanessa. So a couple of minutes of meditation.
sounds great.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
you want to do it now, or do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm looking forward to meditation personally.
Awesome. All right, just a couple of minutes to really come into the moment, into the zone. All right. So if you're sitting on a chair, place your feet firmly into the floor and just have a little movement with the soles of the feet, curl your toes so you really get connection with the floor. And push your feet a little bit into the floor as well, so you really feel a little bit of you feel your legs, but also your core needs to work, your bum. If you really press those feet and legs in the floor. Cool. Awesome. And then anchor the base of the spine to whatever you're sitting on. Erect your spine, shoulders back, open your chest. Allow your hands to rest whatever way you want. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just sink into this moment. And just remind yourself that this is your moment. Right here, right now. Your moment. And the universe or God or whatever you call it, your maker, whatever created you, wants you to be here present. So show up. Just this instant, show up. And whatever happens in this moment, just allow it to be part of it. So that means any sound you hear, instead of resisting, allow it to be part of this moment. But also the thoughts happening in your mind, allow these thoughts. Just think that I'm having thoughts and that makes me human. But I am not my thoughts. So if you have quiet thoughts now or they're very wild, just allow it. And then focus on that beautiful body of yours. And start at your feet. Focus on your feet. Your feet are present in this moment. Your legs. And with your mind's eye, move up. Your knees, your upper legs, your hips, your bum. And then the spine up. Your stomach area, lower back. Up to your chest. Your shoulder blades, your neck. And we're going into the head. That beautiful face of yours. Crown of your head. And then via the back of your head, through your shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. And just really realize that this body is working and is present right here in this moment. And it's working for you. Every cell of your body is in this moment working. It has no recollection of a past, nor is it worried about a future. Every cell in your body is right here, right now, designed to support you. So just picture one of those cells of your body and send some gratitude to that cell. Some appreciation. And just accept that right now, every cell in your body is here for you. And it's wonderful. And you can help these cells by breathing. Just focus on your breath. Nurturing energy enters your body as you inhale, reaching those cells. And as you exhale, that used energy can come out. Because also your breath is present. It's happening right in this moment. There's no connection with the past. No worry about the future. Just feel the air go in and out. And then focus all your awareness on your heart, your beating heart. And I always call the heart my natural born leader. Because with every pulse, it makes sure that my blood flows, energy flows. And it's also happening right now. And again, there's no connection with the past. No worry about the future. My heart just beats. And because of your beating heart, you're worthy. Because of your beating heart, you're good enough. In this moment, realize that you're worthy. You're good enough and very powerful. And very slowly come back. Start to move your fingers. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly open your eyes. And if you want to, just move your body a little bit, stretch. And you really create awareness of that body, right? Your body is here to serve you. It's amazing. So maybe that's a beautiful intention for you today, that if you have your mind telling you that your body is not good enough or you're not good enough, that you really think about this moment, think about your beating heart, and allow that to take you right back into this moment and tell your mind, hey, that's not true. I'm worthy. This is true. This moment is true. Awesome.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, JJ, for
You're welcome.
meditation at the end there. I hope you enjoyed that. If you were able to, to do that meditation, I think we're going to say goodbye now.
Yeah. So if you have any ideas on the workshop, or any what is it you suffer from, what is it you need help with, please connect with Vanessa or me, either on our socials or here on this. Put a comment in, or the email addresses that you have. Yes. What is your email address, Vanessa?
So my email address is vanessa@crystalclearcoaching.org. I'll put it in the comments below this video. So if you want to get in touch with me, or send through any comments, as JJ says, please feel free to do that. Any suggestions about our workshop in June, July, would love to hear them. And, hopefully we can really support you, with what you need at this moment in time. And I want to thank you again, JJ, for being here with me. Thank you to anyone who's watching this, whether you're watching it live or watching on replay. Terry says, have a beautiful day. Yeah, have a beautiful day too, Terry. So looking forward to seeing you next weekend. And bye, everyone.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.